I'm going to show you how to put some quantity surveying information, what's called a QSID, into the BIM model. So to maybe start this, I'm going to click the ground floor view, or maybe the foundation view, and I'm going to select, let's say for example, one of the pads. Now I can see that that's the pile cap. I'm going to right click it, select all instances visible in view, or maybe in the entire project. In this case would be fine. I'm going to have a look, is there any object or property parameter in here I can use to actually just input what that element number is, and there is. I can use the comments here, or I can edit type and maybe put it into the description text parameter here. So I'm actually going to do it, why not do it in the comments, put in 19 substructure, click apply. So now if I just maybe pick one, I should probably see it down there, and I do. So I'll do the same for the strip footings or the ground beams, select all instances in entire project, and again in the comment section, element 19, and it's available to me there. I'm just going to click substructure, click apply. Do the same for these two 1015 wide ground beams, select all instances in entire project, and type in 19 substructure, click apply. I'm going to click the ground floor. I can also do it for the walls. Let's say for example I wanted to apply it to that basic wall there. Right click, select all instances in the entire project, and there we have it on that ground floor plan. It's done the same for the first floor and the top of the parameter walls. I just can't see it because this is the only one I have in view. And scroll down, this one of course is element 21, external walls. Click apply. So again, if I select anyone individually, I should see it in there. So that's done that for all those objects. Again, if I maybe pick one of the internal walls, right click, select all instances, the entire project, it select all those particular objects in the entire project, and I'm going to type in, this is 22 internal walls and partitions. And I would essentially go around that BIM model. I can do it in any particular view. I can do it in the 3D, selecting certain walls. I can already see that that one is got the external walls in. I could click the roof, put the roof element in, click the windows, select all instances, put the windows element in, and I want to pretty much code every single object I can in the model. So go ahead and do that. I've coded that to the best of my ability, working through some views, 2D views, possibly coding it in 3D, and even using any sections that are available to me. I can create my own sections, and I'll show you how to do that in a few moments, but sections are quite handy in terms of coding because I can get into maybe the internal objects that I can't see in maybe some of the other views. Now I want to check that all my objects are coded. One way to do that is to click view at the top and create a schedule. So view, schedules, drop down and create a material takeoff. What comes up here is a multi-category material takeoff, and I'm going to leave it as a multi-category takeoff and click OK. The fields I'm going to use, I'm certainly going to need the comments field. So if I scroll down, it's in alphabetical order, comments, and a comments of course is the field or the parameter I use to put in my QSID. And I'm going to continue on. The next one I'm going to use is family. So I've added more fields there, family and type, material name. I might take the material area and take maybe the material volume. So I have some fairly typical naming conventions there in Revit that should capture pretty much most of my objects, or at least the appropriate name of most of my objects. And I've thrown in for good measure there the actual material name, and then some quantities that may come up as well, just to show you that they are available in schedules. So once I've done that, click OK. And this is essentially my schedule. Now I can increase the row width just to see exactly what's going on. And there I can see my material area, my material volume. Just to make sure all my objects are coded here, I can see that there's codes against, or a QSID against most of those objects. Keep scrolling down, see if there's any fields missing. Oh, and there's a few here. So this is, it looks like it's a rising wall. So that will be element 19. So I can actually go ahead and type it in. Substructure. Those last few items. Substructure. There we go. So keep going just to make sure, and I can see that there's codes. If there was something that wasn't coded, it should show up there and be blank, like I just showed you, and you can actually go ahead and type the field in there. Once you've completed your schedule and you're happy with it, you have an opportunity to keep it in Revit, of course, but you also have an opportunity to export it. So to do that, I'm going to export it to Excel. A little bit of a long-winded process. It's not as straightforward as you might think, but you got to click File up here at the top left-hand corner, click Export, scroll down to, or click the little arrow, Reports, and click Schedule. Now I only have an opportunity to save this as a delimited text file, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. I'm going to save it to my desktop, click Save. Again, some export schedule options here. Keep the checkboxes checked. Let my field output options, field delimiter, I'm going to change that to comma and click OK. So that should save now, and if you wanted to see it, there it is there, my desktop. Click it, and it's not really in an order or format we can use in terms of possible cost estimating. So I'm going to click that, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to import that text file into Excel. So I'm going to open up Excel, and I am going to open up other workbooks. I'm going to browse to my text file. What it is doing right now is it's looking for Excel files, but I need to change that to all files. Navigate to my desktop, click on the multi-category material takeoff, click Open. I need to select in the text import wizard, select Delimited, click Next, change the tab to comma, because that's essentially what I did when I was exporting, and select Next. Click Finish, and this is essentially my export. So it's a little bit more long-winded than maybe it needs to be, but once you've got it into Excel, you can use all Excel's functionality to create your cost estimate. So I'm going to move back now to Revit. One thing that doesn't come in the multi-category material takeoff schedules are room information. So I'm going to scroll back up to my ground floor plan, and if you can remember previously we inputted some rooms and we named those rooms. Let's say for example I hover over the ground floor office, and select that. Up comes this particular room in the room properties. If I scroll down to the identity data, it'll give me what the name and number of the room is. In this case it's the ground office, but it'll also give me some parameters here in respect to finishes. So what I'm going to do is maybe fill out, for an example purposes, fill out some of this information. So let's say the ceiling finish is painted plasterboard. Okay, and the wall finishes is painted blockwork, or also painted plasterboard. And the floor finish is carpet. Okay, click apply, and I can repeat that process for all the rooms on my ground floor and do the same for the rooms on my first floor, and I would add that information in there. Once I've done that, one way to check, just like the material takeoff schedule, one way to check that all information is in there is to create a schedule. So again, the same way I did before, click View, click schedules. This time, instead of material takeoff schedule, I'm going to select schedule/quantities, and I'm going to scroll down to my option here for creating a room schedule. So there we have it, rooms, schedule building components, checkbox, room schedule, click OK. Now again, I want to import in some fields here, and I might start with in order, maybe start with the number, bring that in, the name, bring that in, and then I'm going to add in the finishes. So ceiling finish, floor finish, and wall finish, which will probably be down the end. And from there then I'm going to add the quantities area for sure, and actually unbounded, well, perimeter and unbounded height. Okay, there's nothing in the volume right now. I might even bring in the level that's on, move that up. In between number and name, and click OK. So what you'll see here is essentially the number, the level it's on, the name. If there is information in there, and you can see that we've already put that information in the ground floor office, painted plasterboard to the wall finish, and carpet to the floor finish. I also have an area, a perimeter, and an unbounded height. What I'm missing there is a wall area, so I can add that. To show you how to do that, you would click Insert in the Modify Schedule Quantities. This time though, I don't have an available field here to bring in. There is no wall area calculation. So what I'm going to do is create one. So I've got the little FX here, which is add a calculated parameter. If I select that, I'm going to call it wall area. I am going to click formula here and create the formula, 3 dots. If I say my perimeter times my unbounded height, and then I'm going to close the brackets, and then I'm going to change it from a number type to an area type, otherwise that won't calculate correctly. Click OK, and now I've got a wall area in there. Click OK again, and I have got some wall areas. I'm going to delete some of the rows here that aren't quite coming out. So if I click delete there, click that row, it looks like it's some sort of a duplicate. Click that row, and there we have a good room schedule. Now again, I've got to remember that I can actually input in possibly the floor finishes in the office or carpet. Office 2, carpet, etc. So I can also input in the finish information in my schedule, as well as what I showed you earlier in the actual room properties. Again, as I showed you a number of minutes ago, if you click File, click Export, click down Reports, and export your schedule just like you exported your material takeoff, and import it in to Excel. You can add room information into your Excel spreadsheet. Thank you.